In today's video, I would like to answer another viewer question, and this one is in regards to free will, predetermination, and if we are influencing our own realization. Okay, so I'm going to put the question up on the screen right now, and I'll read it out here. The question goes, "Hi, Sunny. Ramana Maharishi has said, whatever is destined to happen will happen. Do what you may to prevent it. All our actions, even me asking you this question today, was also destined. So does that mean that only if I'm predestined to realize the self in this life, then only will I realize it based on my spiritual maturity in past life? Then why is effort necessary? Having said that, aspiring to seek the self in this next life will make me realize the self sooner in my next life. Seems I'm prepping for the next life. Also, if we are already realized, then why the immense effort is necessary to remove the ignorance? Can I seek the self simply by strongly believing that I'm not the body?" So all fairly good questions, and all sort of really mesh into one question. So let's start with the first aspect of it. I will add the reason I really felt this was necessary to answer is because all of us wonder this stuff, and it is a confusion that can really hold us back, if we continue to dwell in it. So I thought it would be appropriate to answer for everybody, and it would bring value to the entire audience. So one thing I will say is that the answer that you receive from me today, it's not going to be like another mental conclusion. It's going to open your mind up into a new way of reflecting on this, contemplating this. And actually, I want you to consider this. I invite you to not try to just constantly make mental conclusions off of which you can base your life off of. You see, become totally comfortable in a state of not knowing if there's free will or it's predestined. And, that just allows you the freedom to move through this life in the best way that you possibly can, which is ultimately the only option that you have. And not constantly just get worried about these things. Yes, contemplate these things. These are the questions you should ask yourself. But don't just remain mentally dwelling in your thoughts and then seek to create mental conclusions which just become another belief that you have to protect and live by. Instead, be totally comfortable not knowing and not needing to know. And thereby just contemplating these things, and then allowing life itself to help you realize the answer, right? That's an ultimately much greater insight, an answer, understanding that you will receive rather than just dwelling in it mentally. So let's begin with your first part of your question. All our actions, even me asking you this question, was also destined. So does that mean if I'm predestined to realize the self in this life, then only will I realize the self based on my maturity in the past life? What will give you great value is stop thinking about past life, stop thinking about next life. These are just ideas and concepts. Regardless of if it is true or not, here and now, it won't serve you, okay? Prepping for the next life certainly won't serve you, and constantly blaming your past life for where you are today, what is in your experience today, will also not serve you. I want to ask you a question. The actor in the movie who achieves something great, okay, let's just say he was completely poor, and then through great hard work, effort, a long journey that unfolded, he achieved a huge fortune, okay? Now, the story was already written, the script was already written, but wasn't the hard work in the movie, the effort in the movie, necessary to achieve what he achieved? To go from this part of the movie to that part of the movie, right? Wasn't it itself, the effort itself was part of the movie, no? But did it at all affect the screen on which the movie was being played? On top of that, the script that was preordained. The actor is wondering, if he has free will or if it's a script that is preordained. So see clearly here, for whom does it matter if there's free will or no free will? For whom is irrelevant? For whom is there free will? For whom is there no free will? Is it not also just another object of awareness for whom you are wondering if there's free will? When you're talking about, is my realization predestined? You are referring to yourself as this body, this bundle of thoughts, this image you have, this self-image that you believe has free will or does not. Will I be realized? But is this one not another object on the screen? Is this one not another image? So you see, this question itself is just under the misconception that what I am is this object of awareness. And that is what inquiry is trying to wake you up to. Forget predestination, forget free will, but instead inquire into what I actually am. In this question, right, and in this looking, the question about free will or no free will itself dissolve and not matter. Because again, for whom is it? Right? For whom is the free will? You're concerned that there's no free will for the object that is appearing and disappearing. Body, mind. You see, so contemplate this. Again, don't just seek to create another mental conclusion, but actually reflect on this. And see that even if it is totally predestined, right? In the movie, the actor would not have achieved what he achieved if he didn't put in the effort, even though the effort was also predestined. So realize in this way that you making a great effort here and now, forget about past life or next life, you making a great effort to seek the self here in this life, that itself is part of the script. That itself is grace. So, don't be like, oh, if it is predestined, then I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Again, if that is ultimately what you end up doing, that itself is also going to lead you somewhere. And you can't really act against your own nature. If effort is a part of your script, you will make effort. So, if anything, this doesn't free you of the need to make effort. It frees you of the stressing of how much effort I'm putting and how much I'm not putting. It frees you of the guilt of not putting as much effort as you would like. It frees you of the pressure to come to an outcome. So be free of all those energies and do your best. If this truly resonates with you, if this path is truly calling you, then it is relevant for you. And make the effort. Okay? And you say, then why is effort necessary? It's part of it. It's part of the movie. It's part of the play. Don't fight against effort. And you say, also, if we are already realized, then why immense effort is necessary to remove ignorance? Can I seek the self simply by strongly believing I'm not the body? Don't just believe mentally. Actually look into your experience. That is what inquiry is opening you up to. You dwell in these sorts of questions, but you don't really look. In each video, I invite you at the end of the video to practice, to actually take your attention where I'm, where the words are pointing you to. Go where the words are pointing you to. Don't just think about the words. So by looking, by investigating, by reflecting, by inquiring, you come to these sorts of revelations, these realizations, these acknowledgements, which frees you from the need to even ask questions. So when you say why the immense effort is necessary, actually any real teaching, right? Like even the teaching on this channel, there are just two simple components to it: acceptance and self-inquiry. And these teachings, and anybody who's really teaching in a genuine way will really tell you that actually effort is not needed. Right? Like it's not the type of effort you're referring to. It's not the effort that you're used to making in other ventures and areas in life. It often seems like a great effort because you don't really want to seek the self, or you're afraid of seeking the self. You're afraid of what you will lose, and your attention is also scattered among other interests, other chases. You want to seek the self, but then you also want to chase this goal, and your energy is also dispersed in wanting this much amount of money and this much amount of health and this much amount. So you see, all these objects keep you away from the true search, what you want to really seek. And then because you feel the contradicting pulls and you're just being pulled in all different of these interests and intentions, that's why it feels like incorporating this teaching is great effort. So what I would recommend to you is become very, very clear on what it is that you really want, and be willing to be one-pointed. Let go of chasing in all other areas. You see, the day-to-day life, you're still going to have to maintain it. You're still going to have to do the day-to-day work. But now no longer does that work have to be a means to a future end where you want this and this and this. And that's where living in acceptance really comes in. It preps you for the inquiry. Only when you are tending to just the contents of this moment in a fresh way, letting what comes come, letting what goes go, only then are you going to have the energy to go inward in a genuine, wholehearted, dedicated way. Otherwise, your energy will just be dispersed in too many external chases. You're going to be chasing, right? You're directing the mind outward towards an object. So how can you continue? You will remain restless, and then it will seem like effort. You see? And then acknowledge and understand, that what this path requires is just live a simple life in acceptance and inquire. Is that so much effort? You see? So be free of your ideas about this process. Be free of your ideas about this search. Live a simple life. Do no harm to others. Be essentially good in nature, not for the sake of being good, not for winning a reward, but because you will see that this is the behavior that it itself manifests as you become more and more clear of your mental misconceptions and wrong ideas and assumptions about who you are, about what life is, about what the world is. And certainly don't do any of this to prep for the next life. I don't plan to be a seeker all my life. Neither should you. Neither should anybody else. Don't make the seeker an identity, right? Don't be a spiritual person. It is of no use. It's just another identity. It is just another shape, a form that you take. So, no, don't even worry about the next life. Not even next life, but don't even worry about the next year or tomorrow. Here and now, look genuinely into your experience and see, what am I? What is it that is aware? It is so obvious that something knows, something is aware. What is it that is aware? Live by this inquiry. Live by this practice. Continue to bring your attention towards this rather than constantly dispersing it on the many objects of the world. This is the inward path. And that's why we say it is effortless. But it seems like effort, coming from the point of view of that actor on the screen who believes, or who's wondering if I have free will or no free will. Okay? So, is the screen making any effort? Right? On which the images of effort are being portrayed. Is the knowing of effort making any effort? Is the knowing of effort disappearing when effort arises? Or is it with the knowing of effort that effort is known? Contemplate these things. Don't just create mental conclusions. Reflect, inquire. You may hear these answers, but ultimately you will not be satisfied until you yourself go for that discovery. Go for that looking. I hope this video helped you. I just want to make a quick announcement that this upcoming January 2nd and January 3rd, I am hosting my first online live retreat. It's going to be a 2-day event, and we're going to be going deeply exploring into the topics of acceptance and self-inquiry. So I'll post the details on it on my website. I'll put the link down in the description box below. Make sure to go check it out. Read all the details in the description about the event. Okay, it's going to be like a little mini retreat, and it's going to be an intimate, close group. So if you want to attend, definitely just go check it out and sign up if you wish. Okay, so I hope to see you there. I hope this video added great value to you. Have a great rest of your day.